The time is now. It's back to the rhymes. It's like, wow, he's back to the rhymes. I'm in the booth straight dropping dimes. Clark Kent, Daily Plan, the Metropolis Times. I write these raps while I'm under the gun. I see you back to get you some. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Pure, raw, uncut rap. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. All right, down here hanging out. Let's see if I can do this. I'm trying something. That's gonna work. All that good. Just say number one, score us album sales. You see that? I got my man Tom out there promoting, helping out. Thank you, my friend. He didn't know who he talked to, but it was a carrier of Wedgwood Station trying to let him know about the album. So that's cool. But no sale from that, but that's good. On the radar is to get that album uploaded to YouTube. And I'll talk about that when I get to YouTube, but that's the latest for the album. Number two, country music. Like I said, I did talk to Tom even, so gave him an update. He gets the updates from the shows. Saw Chris. No movement as far as her sending me a list of country bars, but I'm not going right away anyway, so no hurry on that. But she definitely wants me to do something. We got my man. Counts. Brandon. I think it's Brandon, but it's spelled a little different, or is it Braden? Anyway, he's in this category, but I know him through this category. So, and I met him once, and I'm going to Spokane here this weekend. It's going to be a hard. I'm going to do this show coming up. I guess I'll get in late this next Sunday and do a late show. So, this is a late show, but it might even be later. I hope not. But anyway, that fella writes, songwriter. I think I've described him, told you about him before, but I heard his voice. But he's having a little success in our business, which is exciting. I think I'll get to know him more as I'm having success, but I'll get to that. But as far as the music, nothing much to say. Just that he's a songwriter. He knows about royalties. I think he receives royalties. That much I believe from what I've heard. So he's in the mix. That's cool. And I have the opportunity. It's just being in association with them. I like that. You know, we have a couple things in common, I'd say. You will be glorified. So I thought I should talk about a couple things to maybe my coworker, Alex. He did post Filipino American church on Instagram. Now, this fellow's not, I don't think he goes to church, but I think that's cool that he did that. He's very supportive. You know, obviously he's not in full agreement with everything, but man, I could see even he's starting to work more. That's Wallingford. Wallingford's being Wallingford. So I think I'll be there for another month plus, but it's not where I should be. It looks more and more the case, but I'm good for now. But man, yeah, I can't really ask him. I'm too busy to do anything right now anyway, but he wasn't busy. Now he is. So maybe we'll see what happens. I have to monitor their schedule to think about asking for some help. But I forgot about that because this whole thing with my friend Zanya talking about using a metronome, it's just kind of bothering me. And it's like, you know, make it kind of, am I doing a good job and all this kind of business, you know? And so I could try to get a hold of him, but you know, all these things, it's like that my time's so limited. And then to try to do that, I'm willing to do it. I just like to see how someone else would do it, you know. I don't know. It's just I think I've kind of tried it a little before, and it just seemed weird to me. But maybe I'll try it again. I don't know. When I worked with Luke, we'd use maybe strip the beat down or do something so I could hear the beat better, you know, whatever. We figure out something, but I do remember that. So the songs I'm doing now, if we move down to here, I guess we're gonna talk about that later, but I'll come back to it. So YouTube channel, like I said, gotta talk to Noah. He says he's gonna help. I'm gonna feed his bunnies for a couple of weeks every other day, and the kitty cat and the chickens. Whew. It's not like I got tons of spare time, but we try to help each other out, and I appreciate that because I really appreciate him helping me out with, you know, in my times of need, and I'm helping him out in his time of need, or at least his bunny's time of need. So that's cool, but it's not like, oh great, I'm just sitting around the house. What could I be doing right now? Oh, I'll go feed some bunnies. It's not like that. I got, you know, getting off at 8 every day. You know, get off the clock at 8, but then you get all your stuff together. You get out of the building like 8:15. You know, maybe you're getting home at 8:30, and that's your whole day. You know, 7:30 to home. You know, leave the house pretty close to 7:30, but then back home about 8:30. That's a big part of the day. And oh, by the way, why don't you feed these bunnies? Okay, I'm gonna have to let them know. I guess when's he leaving? Yeah, we got it figured out. I'll be back from Spokane just in time for him to leave, so that's good. Anyway, we got to help each other out. You know, he's doing stuff on YouTube, trying to make moves. I'm trying to be a businessman, trying to earn his business wherever possible. But I hope he sees a value, thinking it might be somewhere he is. So continue down that path. Yeah, it's just the way my mind works is so different than most people, I think. I think a huge percentage of people are very okay with I mean, if you think of how popular Netflix is, just being a fan, I guess my mentor makes the distinction between players and fans. And I'm having to be a fan right now because I don't have time to be a player. But the desire is there to be a player, you know. So anyway, that's a nice way to look at it. Okay, so then I uploaded Instagram, YouTube, and now TikTok, and I guess that did well. TikTok, almost 800, and then my friend from Lake Steve's like, not TikTok, oh no. I'm like, oh. You know, I was nervous from the beginning, but I was like, I'm just gonna. Rand Paul says it's all right. I can't disagree with him. And again, you never hear the debate. I guess when you're speaking before Congress, you get your minutes, and then the next person gets theirs. It's never a discussion. I mean, to me, let's say you have an issue. Let's talk about is TikTok. You know, are they stealing information? Where do you draw the line? How do you make these calls? And kind of talk through the situation in real time. And if you don't mind, let us in on the conversation, you know, because you can imagine a couple of guys at a bar having a philosophical discussion about it, but we don't hear about that. And it's like, and, you know, maybe working through the issue in real time and maybe getting to a point where you're like, okay, we're just going to agree to disagree. Here's where I'm not agreeing with you, but it's a discussion. You know, we're trying to get clear on where we stand on things, you know, and what's more important. I mean, obviously it's a trade-off. You're going to, you know, have to weigh the cost and benefit. Yes, I might be getting be spied on by China, but I'm trying to get my name out there. right? I could be spied on by whoever. Anyway, it's just more than I can handle, and I gave up on trying to. I didn't feel like I had a strong enough case against it. Again, let convince. It's just it is what it is. It's the nature of our world. Um, so I'm on TikTok, and there you go. Mike_dynamic, I believe it is. Like I said, I got my daughter helping me run it. I did the post myself today. Thank you very much. But as far as Daddy, you need to do this. Daddy, you need to do that. Yeah, you're going to help me do it. By the way, we'll go to the Mariners game this week once a year. So that'll be a big deal. Thank you for that. It's been a good tradition. Except one year where they had cardboard cutouts for fans. Couldn't make it that year. What a joke. Anyway, rules of engagement, nothing to say about that. Yeah, so Bellevue Baller, so my fellow, the countryman, Brandon, it counts as his last name. Got a lot of good following, making moves, and I hope to get to know that fellow. Like I said, I got to be successful doing this to get around that guy and others, I mean, it's all about this. Just for my own, just bucket list, whatever you want to call it. It's gotta have success. So I'm really spend a lot. It's a lot of it's up here because I'm not a player right now. I'm a fan. I'm thinking about how I can be effective, but also work on different things too. So for merch, I got the merch right there. There, I could just show it to you. So there's that. Trump's gonna dump my barber saying, asking me if I had another Trump. I said, my daughter's really into getting into books. We're gonna go to, I think it's called Noodles bookstore. It's in downtown Pioneer Square, really classic building or something. So I'm gonna be sharing my YouTube stuff. Like I said, I can't hardly do this, make appointments or whatever. I can't hardly think about it. I can't hardly think about it. I'm supposed to have a day off. I got to keep up with this State Farm, barely hanging in with them. They're so kind. I think Lisa over here, so nice, so good to me. I want to help them, help each other. So also, maybe another side hustle is getting some signatures for the Let's Go Washington. I think it comes under that umbrella. Before I've heard that name, but gas is going to go up massively because of taxes. Get stuff on the ballot regarding the police being handcuffed, not being able to do their job, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of in the political realm. Anyway, but it's also how I can make money, make contacts, connect with people. There's all kinds of things. Everything happens simultaneously, Complete songs I made lyrics for on YouTube. So yeah, like I was saying, I did. Alron tried to get a hold of me. We didn't connect, but might be able to get over there. He didn't think I was ready to record. I don't know, probably still not ready, but I don't know. I just don't know what to do. I put money towards it. I'm finding that he wants to do things a certain way, and I'm kind of going to go with that. I mean, we're not making music from scratch the way I was with Luke, but their music, I mean, he's got some good music, that he's finding or whatever. So in the end, it should be a good result, and that's nice. So that's that. But anyway, I was going to say, I guess, one thing I'll talk about, I just think it's interesting. So I saw where somebody's up in a tree protesting it being cut down in Wedgwood on the news. old growth red cedar, and it's like I'm with that guy. His name's Droplet. It's like I don't know what the rules are for developers. If you cut a tree down, you got to plant a new one. Come on, you're gonna cut down this nice, huge, old growth, beautiful tree for some lame new one? Is that the trade? I mean, I'm a person who's outside a lot now as a carrier, not as a custodian, as a carrier. Yes, I value trees and their shade a lot. And you'll notice neighborhoods that have nice, big, old trees are the nice neighborhoods, and the ones that don't have nice, big, old trees are not as nice. It's just simple. I was in North Capitol Hill today, driving around, kind of taking a detour of the traffic. I'm like, look at these trees and these beautiful houses. So yes, I am with total agreement with that. They talk about plant amnesty, whatever it's called. I mean, I want to save these trees too, if you can. I mean, if one's dead, I was almost working for a tree company that go out and cut down trees or prune trees. You got a dead tree, you got to get rid of it. Tree removal, okay. And I was going to start learning about trees, but yes, trees are beautiful, and that just makes a difference. And he used the term Seattle's tree canopies being reduced. Right. You make a development, you knock down a bunch of trees, and then no good. I mean, I'm up for building around some trees and having some custom homes, all that kind of stuff. That makes more sense. That's more exciting. Makes the city better, And we got a lot of trees relative, I guess, to other cities, but we got to keep those. I'm totally agreeing with that. So anyway, how's that? For a little current events. So I'll get back to the rhymes. Let's see how this goes. Here. I was like, no, it couldn't have disappeared. All right, so here's what I have so far. I think I was just kind of stuck on the hook, but I just had to go with it. Okay, so the song, we are taught how to create wealth. Okay, right? We are taught how to create wealth, just not for self. Oh, darn. We're more likely to learn how to envy wealth we've created for others, envy the lives they live, envy the trips they take, feeling not the power to have our own stake. Why might we feel this way? Give us 12 plus years of formal education. How do you expect to feel? To think? To go about your day to day? Why delay prosperity? So unnecessary. If you know the rules and you got the tools, you'll get to make your own rules and not have to kowtow to fools. Empowerment supersedes envy. Enlightenment negates the greedy. Needy are we in the country so free your mind. Use the sight at your disposal. Don't be willfully blind. Don't be blind, baby. Make that money. Let your ears hear. Shed not a tear. So that's what I kind of came up with as a hook. And I guess that's the hook. Should I do it more than once? I don't know. Don't be blind, baby. Make that money. Let your ears hear. Shed not a tear. Okay. I think I've talked about being. My wife's not she doesn't have the heart of a teacher, as Dave Ramsey would say. I do. But I'm working a lot. Someday, for my child, I hope to be the homeschool grandpa. I just really value intentional learning. I mean, where she's going to school now is a great place. There's a lot of good qualities, but there's so much head scratching as to why are we learning this? And you kind of just on faith, you just pay your dues. So I can assure you my daughter's in full agreement. So when the time comes for her to have kids, no time wasted. for the kid, for the grandkids. No time wasted. We don't waste time on stuff. If you don't understand why you're studying it, we're going to stop and we're going to figure out why. We're not just going to, that's just it. That's it. All your education's planned, but it has to be, you're understanding why. When kids are really young, it's fun to learn and you make it fun, right? And it never stops. Always make it fun. Always make it fun. It'll always be fun. And you just you ride the wave of natural enthusiasm towards learning. And you just fill it in with stuff that gets you where you want to be in life. It's simple. So I'm making a song here, and it's kind of about that, No time wasted. And maybe I'll just write about this kind of education, how to educate. I was going to say it. No time wasted. Time is of the essence. That's a saying, right? Let me see. I mean, that's a saying, right? Essence. Like from essential? What is essence? I want to know what I'm saying when I say time is of the essence. You just say it all growing up. But I don't really use that word. There's Essence magazine. I never thought about it being connected to essential. What does it mean? Essence. Essence. The intrinsic or indispensable properties that serve to characterize or identify something. Intrinsic or indispensable. The most important ingredient, crucial element. Time is of the essence. What does that mean, though? That's such a burned into my brain scene. I don't know if I'm even understanding it. An extract that has the fundamental properties of a substance in concentrated form. Okay, essence, essential, constituting or part of the nature of something inherent, basic or indispensable. All right, so essential, because essential, I use that word. That seems to be much more common. Essence is a noun. Essential is an adjective. Okay. All right. So, but they're both being described as indispensable. Just absolutely there. It's just a part of it. I suppose they're saying time is of the essence of life or something. Anyway, I thought I'd explore that. Hope that was enlightening. Or you already knew it, right? You already knew it, and I'm just learning. Cool. Time, no time wasted. Time is of the essence. We'll never get it back. No time wasted. Time is of the essence. We'll never get it back. I know I'm going to rhyme with lesson, right? That for me is the lesson. I could say it like that. That for me is the lesson. Lesson, lesson. If you say lesson like to reduce, is that Lessen? I think so, right? Let's check. Don't want to get it wrong. I think it's En, but messing around. Want to do it right. There, it's right on the front page. To cause, to decrease, make less. Yep. Now, I have to say, and I'm going to utilize. Okay, I've heard the number one selling business book of all time, and I can't have to. I guess I could do some research and confirm is Rich Dad Poor Dad. So much there in that title, and I think that's where it's all. I've been trying to watch some Robert Kiyosaki, who's the author, right? And he's talking about the mistake that millennials, but probably everybody makes is they're taught to do what they love, what they're passionate about, and not, instead of doing what you hate, so you can live the way you want to live. You might have to. And people think, do what I hate. What would you mean? In his quick example, I didn't hear the whole thing. He was just talking about doing taxes and insurance, and sure, if you're gonna be an entrepreneur or whatever, you would do those things. And he doesn't. He says he doesn't like writing, but it helps him achieve his purpose. So the guy, I guess it's interesting to think that the number one all-time best-selling business book was written by a guy who hates to write. So I think that's worth being mindful of. And really, what's it going to take, and I know there's people who are successful in business who, donate to schools and all this stuff, but I don't see where they're just getting guys ready for jobs all the time. Why? This stuff doesn't make sense to me. There's a portion of the population that is clear as day understands jobs aren't where it's at, but they're still it's like they see it for themselves, and it's up to them. They don't have a passion to put it out there to really bring more people with them. Now, others do. Depends on what the person's doing. I did hear someone talking about in the industry they were in. Oh, so the woman who's successful in our group here, her husband's in construction. So the problem is, if you educate somebody in that construction business really well, you might have just created your competitor, right? Okay. I think got to be okay with that. I think you got to be okay with that. You shouldn't have a scarcity mentality. You really think if you helped a lot of other people get good at construction, because my guy with the computer store, he helped the guy who was working for him kind of start his own, fixing computers in the back, but his business is going strong. It's just the spirit of it. What we want to see is a community, a city of givers and builders, right? Not scarcity and going for theirs. And there's never a scarcity, So lessen the scarcity, increase I want to say abundance, but I'm going to hold off till next week because it doesn't rhyme and I'm gonna see what else there is.